because they can't get punished, because Newbee had no way of punishing the grid that LGD had. So I think overall everything just came down to selection of the draft at the end, how our TK switch up the last pick so the Juggernaut went mid. So a lot of it had to do with the picks of the heroes. So let's see what Newbee does this game with their Enchantress and how they actually play it. And we were talking about maybe Chuan being on a jungling hero. So maybe we could see a position for Enchantress instead of offlane one. So and right now LGD has a pretty solid opening as well. Prophet, one of the heroes that we see a lot of success from Team Spirit, MVP, and I talk about this hero a lot. I think this hero is really strong right now, and maybe a little bit underpicked. And they're going to pair it with Witch Doctor, which is also a support that's really good in the lane.
Yeah, just a safe, stable support, and the Prophet pick obviously leaving things nice and open. So, I mean, this was something that I brought up at the end of the last game that we discussed was, will Newbee, now that they have first pick, try to get a jungler? And that was indeed the case. LGD did not want to give away an Earth Spirit, so instead they banned the Earth Spirit, they banned the Chen, but that does leave Enchantress in the pool. And this should allow Chuan to be much more effective this game. Witch Doctor, one of the better supports to deal with junglers, but still, you've got a hero that can early on pressure lanes, gank, try to take towers. Not something a Shadow Shaman can.
And this is quite a peculiar opening from Newbee as well, following up the Enchantress. Because usually you don't want to do that unless you have plans to run a mid Beastmaster, because it immediately tells the opponent this Enchantress is a support. It's not an offlane unless you're gonna run your Beastmaster mid. So it's rather strange, but we'll see what they do with the Beastmaster. Are they gonna just run potentially dual lanes? You have the ball, you have the Enchantress creep, nothing, so you can pressure the enemy safe lane heavily. And for LGD, they do have decent heroes to deal with that, because the cast is really good against the creeps, that's number one. Really good versus the Beastmaster ball as well. And if the lane gets under too much pressure, the offlane can come in to help the lane. So they do have tools to deal with potential pressure that Newbee will bring to the LGD safe lane.
What the overall strategy will end up being here for Newbee.
I think it's a very high chance going to be a support Enchantress, and Beast going to be offlane. Because they removed.
That's for sure.
Yeah, because they removed the CM as well. It's quite a big tell.
And the question becomes, what do they look for cores? Do they try to pick a pushing core, maybe something like a Death Prophet? Moves played a decent amount of that in this patch.
Pushing core goes really well with Enchantress, because the number one thing I realized about the hero is he's fast-paced. So after the laning phase, sometimes it feels like after the laning phase, it feels like there's nothing for you to do. So if you have a push lineup, you dominate your lane, you move to the other lanes, you assist your teammates to push, and you get objectives. Objectives is the keyword here for Enchantress. I think you need to be able to use the hero to get objectives and winning your lane. So that Prophet would be nice for their lineup with the Enchantress. And for LGD, it really depends on how they want to approach the game, if they want to win their lanes, because I think against Enchantress specifically, you want to dominate the Enchantress in the lane. You don't want to let her ball out of control. So picking good lanes is actually important, and picking burst damage. Those are the two important factors against Enchantress.
Yeah, right now LGD very light on the burst damage, at least until Prophet gets 6.
You have good supports in the lane like Witch Doctor, but Witch Doctor doesn't offer burst damage, so they need to somehow make it up with another pick, the other support, or you have a mid hero that has a lot of burst. Zeus, Skyraf, all these heroes are really good versus Enchantress.
Lina is an excellent choice as well, thing that maybe has played quite a bit of. And I guess that's what LGD will have to decide, is what kind of cores do they want. In the past, we've seen the Sylar, we mentioned Morphling, Terrorblade. Morphling not banned this game, though. So if they want to grab it, pair well with the Nature's Prophet if they want to play a more spread offense style.
Do you like the global presence if they go for Zeus and then go for Spectre again? Do you like
that? LGD?
Yeah, do you like that on LGD?
No, I think too greedy. Spectre or Zeus can just get punished by the Enchantress too hard, I would say.
Yeah, if it's a support Enchantress, yes.
And then if the Witch Doctor camps mid, you just punish the safe lane.
Didn't we see one game yesterday that the Zeus got wrecked really hard by support Enchantress? It was
our Spirit, I think.
No, it was the Fnatic game where they played against Spirit.
Oh,
and
you're
Spirit
right.
had the mid Zeus and got wrecked by DJ's Enchantress.
I mean, that game they didn't have a good defensive support. This game they have Witch Doctor, but then I still feel like now you're camping mid with the support. You can just go gank lane instead. Oh, it's still a bit of a trade-off.
Now, you want a mid hero like Puck, something that can escape. It's harder for them to gank you. So that is like extremely crucial if the Enchantress is played on the 4 position. You want a mid hero that can actually run away. So let's see
So
whether...
they do ban the IO LGD.
I mean, they're probably worried that the IO can be used to gank the Prophet because Prophet is not very good versus the relocate ganks, because one of the beauties of Prophet is you are really mobile and it's difficult for the enemy to catch you out. But with relocate, it kind of changes the game a bit because you can't really push aggressively. So LGD is going for more, I would say, objective-based and team fight support. Visage does this too really well. He's okay in the laning phase, not the best, but he's really good at pushing towers, which fits the Prophet, and really good at utilizing the Roche because they're undired.
Visage. Now, a lot of teams would consider a Drow here. LGD also love their Lycan for Sylar if they want to go for more push. But against Beastmaster, maybe not the best choice.
But it fits their lineup, and the other thing is it's going to make their lane strong, which I stress really important against the Enchantress. So it could be a hero that allows them to go ahead in the laning go far ahead in the laning phase and make the Enchantress less useful. So we'll see whether they do that, and obviously it helps with the Roshan, because they're on dire.
They go Puck.
It's the Puck, like I mentioned, because you want to have a hero that is. It's extremely important for.
It really feels like a Lycan or a Drow now.
Yep, but those two would fit really, really well.
Which one would you rather ban if you're Newbee?
I would probably rather ban. Because it's LGD, I would probably rather ban Lycan, but I think
Drow's better.
I think Drow is better with their lineup, but for their player maybe Lycan, because he plays a lot of Lycan. It depends on how you see it.
The Newbee try to counter this. They get the Sven, obviously Warcry great against physical damage, so they're already expecting a Drow or Lycan, even though it hasn't been.
Yeah, they want more armor to deal with it. So
is there any curveball LGD could do and not go for either of those, or do you think they're kind of committed?
I mean, they can still go for something else like a morphling that you mentioned. It's totally fine. It just doesn't
have as much synergy.
It doesn't make their current lineup stronger, but the Lycan and the Drow we mentioned makes their current lineup much stronger.
Oh, maybe it is the Morphlane. So with the Rubik ban, it seemed more like a Morphlane. And Morphlane does get banned.
I mean, honestly, they can still go for Spectre if they want to. Like, all those heroes are still feasible with their lineup. I don't think it's a lot weaker, but it's still feasible. But obviously, the Drow and Lycan makes their lineup a lot more stronger.
It is the Drow. LGD looking to close out Newbee quickly. We've had some long days here in the opening group stages, but LGD could make their day a lot shorter with a win here.
So they need a support right now.
It will be...
Unless it's a weird Sven support that they are using. I think I've seen it one game.
Iron Talon, Beastmaster jungle.
No, it's from
Offlane Enchantress.
LGD. They did Sven support and he just max Warcry and stun. And he built max.
EG also runs support Sven for Fear. Yeah. They're one of the teams that pioneered that.
I mean, it's still pretty good against the birds, the familiars from Visage, and obviously the right clicks from Drow.
The birds.
Actually, the bats, the gargoyles.
Oh, the gargoyles.
The gargoyles. Yeah, I suck. Okay, gap closer against Drow, that's really important. You want to have a gap closer to remove the marksmanship, so you can actually kill the Drow and remove their damage.
And then now they have Warcry, they have Snowball, they've got a lot of ways to get in close.
Yep. So the lanes are going to be a bit weird. Wait, how are they going to lane this? Plus Sven safe lane?
It's an Iron Talon...
not
Beastmaster?
No one is gonna go Iron Talon. They're gonna contest the lane.
Enchantress and Tusk are just gonna roam. Spend safe lane.
Can't really contest, Drow, Doctor and Visage. That is extremely strong lane, and they have Nature's Prophet TPing in. They're not gonna contest.
Do you think LGD would go aggressive here even, or is that too risky? Because then your Prophet gets a 1v1.
Possible.
You get the fast level 6.
It's possible because they can win. If you look at it this way, they can win all their lanes. It's indeed a Prophet versus Beastmaster 1v1, then he's going to be able to have a good time. But I doubt that it will happen because Enchantress would be roaming to try and give his team an advantage in the laning phase. So even though I think that they can do it, but it might be risky. So
Lei going to place a ward here, but DDC's already scouted him out.
What's up, bro?
My homie. Get the hell out of here.
Both of them have 2 wards. So, they know what's up.
But neither has placed one yet.
You can see why they're doing this, because both teams understand that how important it is to scout how the enemy is laning, because they want to have the right lanes against the right heroes.
Yeah, let's see. Are there any clues, Winter, as to how they want to lane? Prophet boots first. Doesn't really reveal too much. It looks like he's off lane.
You can go anywhere with boots first. It doesn't really matter.
There's no ring of protection here, so it looks like it's going to be a standard safe lane tri-lane.
I mean, it's just they don't really need to do it. Like, they just need to be able to get their levels, get their objectives, get Roshan. That's like how a draw lineup works. You don't need to be risky. You just need to get your levels, make sure your early game is okay, and get your objectives.
And the reason why you pick the puck here, like you mentioned, going for a global strat, is the puck can't really be ganked by an enchantress unless he screws up.
Basically, the most important thing is the pressure coming up from an enchantress. Puck can survive the pressure.
Prophet can scout it, and also even if he dies, can always get back to the lane quickly, so it doesn't affect him as much. So I think they have good. When you run the Drow strat, you want cores that don't need help, because she needs a lot. They do have it. And
obviously you want a hero that right clicks, because Use doesn't right click, so you don't really use the aura from the Drow that much. So right now, Rune 1 apiece, so pretty standard opening. Let's see what ROTK does with the Treants. This is really basic stuff. You use the second summon, one of it, you use it to block the pull cam, and then you use the other 3 to pull the lane away. Some players will pull it in the direction of the enemy tier 2, but some would try, because if you do what ROTK is doing right now, pulling it towards the jungle, they might actually be able to, drag the lane creeps towards the left-hand side, so you actually pull the creeps back. So that's something that How can do. That's why you see some players, they do it the other way. They pull the creep towards the enemy tier 2 tower, so you actually stack both waves together, so they push.
Oh, Shark Trap here on RTK. This is going to hurt off the bat. He's in a lot of trouble to lay. Might not go down here, but he's going to be very low. He's able to get out with the boots. The shards are cooling down, though. Lay could go for this.
Boots build saving his ass there.
Man. That was pretty dangerously close. How had not skilled anything yet.
Maybe if they had Sunstruck on Invoker, they would have actually been able to kill it.
Or if Hao gets in range there and he skills Warcry, Le could just chase him down with another shards, but...
It's a lot of ifs, so basically...
It's risky.
Yeah, basically right now, okay, Prophet didn't die, but Sven is still farming the lane. We've seen this a lot, like the max cleave, you go for Quelling Blade and you just keep farming and you stack Ancients. So that is like...
Yeah, Mushi did it the other day.
So this is the way that Newbee is going to pull ahead with the Sven, and LGD is going to try to play a fast-paced game to not allow that to happen too.
They want to take early towers, get a ward up in the Ancients, don't let Sven play the farm game.
Yep, so right now Tron is situated at the top side, so he's going to be able to help the Beastmaster soon. He has a fairly decent crit for that now.
Blood bottom lane is Newbee combine here, Snowball. The shards and an earlier Stormhammer to set it up gets the kill. I'm looking at this mid lane though, Winter, where maybe has 74 damage to Moose 53, and he has been bullying him.
BDC is going to be run down by Bambi with the superior movement speed, not going to be able to escape.
They actually had the cask there, but weren't in range to use it.
So right now, both lanes are getting 2 kills for Newbee, like 1 apiece, and Newbee is going to look to pull ahead in the laning phase, because if they don't pull ahead in the laning phase with the Enchantress, they're going to have a hard time stopping the 5-man. And the other thing that they adjusted as well is, I was talking about the lack of Sunstrike, was because they went for a Quasvex Invoker to defend the push against
You see backing off into the cask, which will prevent any further follow-up. Oh yeah, How is maxing out the cleave, as you mentioned. Already 2 points picked up in it. He's going to grab the Robe of the Magi here. Does so to ensure they'll actually no, sells it. I thought he wanted the mana for Stormhammer, but he's gonna have it anyway.
I want more damage for last hit.
Yeah.
Instead of more mana. He still has mana for a stun, so...
that would be a pretty sick play if you buy the robe and then you've got the Stormhammer mana, turn around and get a kill.
Good luck microing.
Did you see the Arteezy play where he disassembled the Dominator to get the little golem?
Double stun from the golem.
I still think my favorite play ever was the Dota 1 play where he... what was it he did against the side shop where he got his own neutral to kill him? Oh, he dominated the creep as it was coming, so it was deny instead, right?
The projectile was going to him and he dominated
it. And he dominated it, so it became a deny instead of a kill.
So right now, RTK trying to drag the creeps back to his lane, but it's not going to be able to do so. How is going to do that?
RTK in danger here in the bottom lane. Teleport's available, but he's too slow.
There's still a snowball, so there was no way that he could have got out of that situation. And things are going really well for Newbee. They need to be able to win their lanes because otherwise the push will come really early. So this is what they need to do to be able to take this series into a third game. Win the laning phase, slow down the draw with such Fury and Temple, and try to
They're moving on top now. Smoke gank from Chuan, and they're going to find out DDC here with the boar going to work as well as Chuan with the auto attacks. They can just get a rage for a stun for the Centaur. It'll be sure death for DDC. Gust comes through, but they keep on chasing the Centaur stun slightly short. They turn, throwing out a nuke onto Chuan, and now Sylar slowly working there with the frost attacks. The arrows do touch him just enough in all the wrong places, and Chuan will go down. They get the counter kill. They're still farming their spend.
It was still alright for Newbee. I mean, still, in the end, they still like pressured that the lane because Visage, like, you don't want to Visage to get the early level 6 as well. So killing him was still a big deal for them. But right now, LGD, because the tempo is...
Snowball on mid. They're moving on to Maybe here. EMP coming through. They get the Shards Trap. He dodges it. He gets off the silence. Maybe's not out of this one yet, but he is going to have an orb. Can he make it? Oh, not quite. He even had the... He had the regen rune. If he had popped that, maybe during the phase shift, might have had enough HP to survive, but Moo gonna back off.
Managed to get himself out with the Ghost Walk there, but like I was
smoke from Newbee. Instant additional aggression, but I think this one was scouted. An observer ward there.
Didn't they?
They weren't up the hill.
Oh, they weren't.
They're on the lower hill. But I don't. LGD weren't. They still catch him. Snowball forward. Centaur's there to find MMY. Well, do they kill him? Shards, and yes, they will. So MMY down 6-1 the score.
I'm not sure if they saw that, Gorman.
It looked like they did. They were not on the high ramp, and they have vision of it. But oh, Newbee now getting turned on. Maybe Chuan goes down here. One more frost arrow. I mean,
it's still a lot of space for Hao. Like, he's just free farming away, pushing lane. He got the tower, so the Prophet rotations was nice. They got counter kills, but it came at a price. They lost their lane, the tier 1 bottom tower at bottom lane, so still something for Newbee, despite losing heroes there. And right now, they're gonna try and pressure the Drow with the Tusk coming in. They got a Stomp from the Centaur here.
And they are going to follow it up. Cass comes through and nicely plays Gust by to keep Sylar alive, but he is being dove. Currently, Snowball rolling in deep onto the Drow. They're going to isolate him, bring him down with one more auto attack. The Maledict working on Lei. He drops a ward on the retreat out. Don't think LGD scouted that as they're busy trying to get the kill. Last Maledict tick will do it, but Latule goes to work now with the Boar's help and the auto attack damage to the Beastmaster brings to the table. MMY's going to drop as well. Chuan's still in this one, and DDC's going to go down. They've wiped out the tri-lane. 3 have fallen. While that was all going on, the Invoker did get picked off in the mid lane. Looks like Coil got dropped by Maybe.
Oh, was it a solo kill?
I think it was. He had the Drow aura for some of that.
Wow. All right.
Action everywhere. Man, they needed that from Maybe. In fact, they might even catch Tule retreating here. The Frost Arrow is coming through. Silence is there. The Gust just to slow him down for a moment. Tule backing off. The Orb's going to be ready soon. Chuan trying to turn this, though. EMP Tornado. Oh, it's such a short phase shift that it actually still catches him out, and Maybe it's going to drop it. Now Sylar's in danger. Right back the other way. We keep on going. There's 2 heroes bottom. Witch Doctor's not in position to help out his Drow Ranger. The Gust is there, but Newbee keep on plowing into this Drow, and Tule is dominating. 4-0 and 3. This top lane with the Enchantress at 3-1 and 5 is combined for 8 kills. A massacre. LGD on the wrong side of it.
And this is way better from Newbee. They picked much aggressive supports. The Tusk and the Enchantress are the big difference maker for their team right now. Roaming around. This is like the weakness of the Drow. When you get ganked early and your tempo gets slowed down, this is what is going to happen. You have to reach to that point where you get enough levels and farm to go for the objective play. So,
and we haven't seen the profit factor yet. RTK is level 6, but
I think it's mainly right now the puck has to move, because everyone else would be just farming and trying to get levels and items. That has to be the one that moves.
Well, he did. He moved top.
Yeah, he has to. He is the only one that can actually make space for, especially the Visage and Witch on both the supports.
Rolling onto RTK. He does have the ultimate. He's going to let it go down. Sylar's ready to countergate this. The roaming Drow Ranger. Can it turn it around? Lei gets caught by the Gust on the land, so they'll at least get the Tusk kill. No, or do they? Maybe they don't get the Tusk kill. He's able to walk away.
The slowed them down enough for him to escape.
Sylar just couldn't keep up with the Frost Arrows. They're moving on top now as well. Diving onto DDC.
And this Enchantress is just everywhere, putting up so much pressure.
Well, it's what we talked about, is the difference when Chuan's on a jungler versus when he's not. Night and day.
So, tip of the day. Chuan, jungling hero. Put him on a jungling hero.
They have Roar and Tule. Does he want to go for DDC?
And they're just under so much pressure. They can't really get levels like in the lanes. They can't stay in their lanes. That's the problem for LGD right now. They need the puck to break things apart.
Oh, they're going to roar DDC under the shadow of his tier 3 tower. Prophet will TP into this one, but they're going to need more backup. In comes the puck. They were baiting now. Too late. Going to get caught. It's a trap, but this time it's Newbee. The one's caught within it. 2 down. They only lose a message.
That was Newbee just trying to do too much, and obviously LGD with good movement, good anticipation that the gang was going to happen, because one was playing so aggressive and punishing Newbee for that. So that's going to put LGD at least closer to their level 6, especially on their supports. I think that is once again really crucial for them this game.
It is worth reminding everyone, there is still a Sven in this game. I haven't seen a whole lot of him, but he's going full economy build. Dominator first, max cleave, already has it, is stacking Ancients. There's currently a triple stack up at the Radiant side, and crucially LGD went through, they've not taken towers. They don't have the ability to contest these Ancients easily, and this Sven could get out of control very quickly.
This Sven looks like he could even be much more farmed than the game yesterday when Mushi was on the Sven. I think if I'm not mistaken, he broke a record with the Sven with his farm. He had like 9k net worth at 15 minutes. This game, you know, it's still quite possible for Hao if he gets a stacking going on every time he can. So we'll see how farm he can actually get. And right now, the puck is still...
Unfortunately for him, the creeps are not cooperating. They managed to block each other in, and those Triceratops slow to... Yeah, will prevent a fourth
That is minus 300 gold.
Punch your keyboard once for every gold that you miss.
It's like missing a hero kill, so not a big deal. Puck is still really far away from his blink.
That tilts you if you're a carry player. It's a little.
That tilts RTZ for sure. I don't know if it's now, but they're
time to abandon. Oh, but you can't do that here. MMY gonna get caught up. Then they roll into maybe. Cold Snap came through. He phase shifts to try and dodge it. Already committed the silence. Drops the coil. But they're on the offensive. Newbee looking to finish up this puck. Sylar arrives in good position for a gust. They're gonna orb forward on Naboo. Trying to turn it around. LGD desperately looking to take this fight. Maybe he's in deep. The soul assumption is enough. Secures the kill on a fleeing invoker. So a 2-for-1 thus far. Trying to get Chuan as well. And it looks like they just might be able to do it slow from the grave chill. RTK has the sprout ready. Can he get in position? Maybe with the orb forward, but he's trying to go for that extra kill. Late. No, they get turned on. They will have to back out Sylar. 1 frost arrows, but now how? They saw him running down the river, and they don't want a piece of that stuff.
That fight was all our TK. He had a mech first item that early. It caught Newbee by surprise, so they weren't able to finish the puck off, and Puck was able to get his spells, bottle up, even salve up for that fight. So that mech from RTK was definitely a big difference maker in that fight. So
even then, you do have to remember that's a 4v5. Later on in the game, how's there? Not going to be so easy for LGD, but a very important fight nonetheless.
Yeah, it's still important because LGD were able to get experience. I mentioned their supports. They need to get their level 6. So DDC's level 6 is online. He has his birds. If you look at Witch Doctor, he's halfway to his level 6. So they caught up. And things are suddenly looking alright again for LGD. They just need to make sure they are able to secure the Rosh. I think that is their next really most important objective. If they can secure the Roshan for Drow, that would put them in a fairly good spot.
Get that blink on the puck. Without him, they're lacking reliable initiation. But maybe he's closing in. 700 gold or so to go. A little bit less. You know, RTK grabbing his pace, so it looks like he may transition back into a Midas now.
Yeah,
and
I think he will. So
try to give them a little bit more late game insurance.
Do you want to go late game against those heroes?
You definitely don't want to go late game. Like, I guess mid game insurance would be the...
Yeah, I guess he just wants to, like you mentioned, get farm back, like catch up.
Maybe they could rat late game, but they're definitely not going to head on.
He's not going to rat now because he's going to be dead.
The rat, he found the trap. I was going to quickly finish him off here.
He found the cheese in the lane. He
Oh
found
no, the treats! Run, my babies! Much all that.
So, state of the game, obviously still in Newbee's favor. Sven has a huge amount of network lead against the enemy. Beastmaster is also second
He's
in
got
network.
a Necro 3 soon.
Beastmaster is actually so rich because of all the kills he's gotten in the lane, and obviously no thanks to his support buddy Enchantress that actually set up so much, and not to forget the Tusk as well that roam top. So things are still looking good for Newbee, and it seems like they're going to get a Midas on Mu as well to secure even more late game, as if they don't have enough. Sven. So they can actually stop LGD from getting the Roshan, that would be really crucial for them. The Roshan will be the next important thing. LGD wants to get it, it's the Drow to come back into the game, and as long as Newbee doesn't allow that to happen, they would be in a really good spot.
On to this tower, Hao does get scouted out, but he
doesn't care, it's Quelling
one
Blade.
beefy bugger.
Quelling Blade, so you can't trap him with the Sprout.
Hey, you can frost arrow him.
War Cry, so...
They have drums. That is something worth pointing out, is the Drow Ranger has not been able to rush the Yasha or the Dominator.
Newbee is coming in from behind Gorman with a smoke with a haste.
Maybe it's the one in front though, and he blinks out RTK a little bit close, runs towards them. For this instead, they're going to roar DDC. Let's see if they leave him. Prophet ult comes in. Looks like they're thinking about fighting this, jumping forward. Coil's there. It is only going to isolate Tule. Can they finish off Chuan through this? Not quite able to do so. Now Siler's on the run. The Storbolt comes in and Sven gets to work, hammering away with the war cry. He is able to tank the vast majority of that Death Ward damage without taking too much in his own right. How backing off, getting earned up. RTK going to fall as well. That's 4 down, and now it's just maybe. Last man standing. Couldn't find the dream coil that he was looking for, and Newbee now into the pit.
Alright, Newbee has just taken full control of the game by securing that fight, securing the Roshan.
They could have backed there and just sacrificed the Visage.
That fight was also... They did kill the Visage first with the Raw, but it was also further behind the fight that Mu got a 3-man EMP. I'm not sure if you caught it. That this allowed the other heroes to participate in the team fight, so it was all around a really good team effort, again from Newbee.
Maybe trying to come in and contest
they're backing
this
off though because they don't have God's strength to finish the Rosh.
Actually, LGD maybe can go for this soon. Having Prophet ult in 20, they're pushing that top lane to try and draw Newbee back. Newbee not cooperating. Dream Coil is ready as well. The full complement of spells available for them. Beastmaster Roar also online. Tornado up. This will not be given freely. LGD, they're gonna fight. Tooth, nail, and claw for this Rosh. Meanwhile, RTK is just going to farm top. Did not even go for the Midas. He goes back into Tread, so everything focused on right now for LGD. Here we go. Orbit in the pit. The Rosh extremely low. Punk jumps in, gets up the silence, killed by the Radiant. Somebody grab the damages. Oh, it's the Sven who gets it. Who cleaved through, finishing off the Punk. Now the Drow Ranger dead as well. A perfect high ground Death Ward, but not enough to even kill off Hao once, let alone a second time. Stunning RTK, trapping him up on a cliff. He pops the mech, gets pushed down by the Ice Shards, and right into the waiting arms of Hao, who will finish him up together with Lei. That's 4 dead. Almost feels like they've lost already. LGD, another 2,500 gold swing. A worse late game lineup. Going fairly all in terms of item selection with drums on Drow, mech on Prophet, no Midas, and still losing these fights and the Rosh.
They're probably going to try one more fight, I think. If they lose the next fight again, I think they're just going to call it. Most likely because you mentioned it's a Drow lineup. Can't get your Roshan, you're losing team fights, you lost your lanes.
Invoker has a Midas.
Everything that can go wrong has already gone wrong for LGD, so they might make a last stand here, and if it doesn't work, I'm not going to be surprised if they just call the game. So RTK, not even that farm, so they need to find at least a good fight, maybe a smoke with the next Dream Coil, or maybe, and try to start a fight on their own terms. If they can do that and get a pick off at the start of the fight, they might stand a chance in a team fight.
Even with a loss here, they'll still have a game 3 to try to salvage things.
Wow, it's a mech on Chuan.
Rather unusual pickup on Enchantress,
yeah,
but
he has Arcane Boot, so it's like a...
He's got the mana for it.
It's like saying the Enchantress like a sort of supporting hero.
Also, given the rest of their lineup, they actually have the kind of lineup that can use the mech to bring base. He's a mobile fountain. Hal's very happy about this. Clarity Potion. The Arcane Boots, the mech is there if needed. Not really needed.
That's the dream of the carry. And you wish your supports were like this every game, Gorman. I'm here to mech you, I'm here to give you Arcane Boots.
That's why I like playing with Dakota. He just picks Cuddle. Mech.
And gives you Chakra Magic.
Yes. Give me more.
And you don't even need a TP scroll.
Exactly.
Coda, I need a recall.
The only thing better might be a really good IO. Then you can kill people too. Cuddle not so much.
And
he's a good support player.
You can never be contented with your support, Gorman. You want everything.
Well, ever since you left me, it hasn't been the
Maybe someday I will return. Just maybe.
Today is not that day. Today,
It's the
LGD
day.
fight.
Today is the day. LGD and Newbee series goes to a third game, hopefully, for everyone's sake, so everyone can have more Dota. But it seems like right now, LGD still needs to find a way back into the game. Find an initiation from the puck.
RTK, he's doing his job, pushing out these lanes, but perhaps gonna be punished. The blink surprise from Hal. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he gets off the back, so it's gonna be a couple of extra attacks. But RTK ain't running for this one. And Hal will collect his bounty.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Barely able to TP out there on DDC.
They have just too many tools of catching, like they have Quaspex Invoker, they have Master Hawk, they have Snowball.
So, it looks like Lei is also building a mech, or do you think he's just going to go into a Crimson Guard here to deal with that Visage?
He has a headdress, so I guess he's changing his plans.
Okay, he's building a Crimson Guard as well as a pipe. Fine.
That is like what OG did at Frankfurt. Oh, okay.
That's like the support equivalent of CTY's Anti-Mage. Get a Hyperstone, get an Ogre Club, parts of the Battle Fury.
Come on, it's just I didn't realize that 2 max.
Saying it's a bad.
So you're saying it's a good thing?
I'm not saying it's a good thing either. Crazy, yeah.
So you're saying it's just a thing in Dota now that everyone should do that? It's neither good or neither bad.
Why is everything black and white with you? Why can't there be shades of gray?
These shades of grey.
Here comes a maybe jump forward. He got off the coil. There's the roar, though, to counterplay him, and he just rolls right in, punches that puck into the next universe, or will finish him off. DDC now getting man-moded on by Tron. This Bambi's got some legs on her, and she'll keep on going on to RTK. One more if, actually make it 2. Should be enough to finish the job. Tule's going to help out with the 4. Sylar next. That's 4 down. Newbee, quick, decisive, and brutal, are slaughtering LGD in front of their base. They'll take the tower. Hal hardly even in that fight and not even needed. Now with the God Strength, gonna go to work. They throw the Alacrity on him. His attack speed enormous for Sven at this stage. Over 2 attacks per second. Familiar stun here and there, but it is not enough. LGD thoroughly beaten, battered, will limp into game 3, unable to close out Newbee.
Hero of the series so far, Enchantress, I have to say. Every series has its own hero, and this series, Enchantress is the hero. Ben, pick.
So who is going to have first pick in game 3? Is it just going to switch here?
I believe they're going to have another coin toss because from what I understand that they don't want someone who have won the coin toss.
I think if Newbee get first pick, LGD will ban...
Whoever gets second pick will ban Enchantress, most likely.
You know, do LGD need to, though? Because they could have picked, like, something less risky. Like, they give away the Enchantress, sure, but let's say you pick, like, a Morphling or, you know, something that's a little bit more stable in the laning stage.
Morphling got banned, dude.
That was stage 2, right?
Yeah.
No, that was the 5th ban. They
Yeah,
banned it when the Rubik got banned.
Yeah,
so they
fifth
could have
ban.
picked something else.
They
for
could
a
have
character.
not gone so all in, basically. But, you know, they had the confidence. I mean, they had the lineup to do it. It's just they got crushed so hard in the early game because of the Enchantress. Number 1, they didn't block the camp. Remember how Newbee dealt with our Tiki's Enchantress? They body blocked the camp nearest to the Enchantress, and they used the sentry to block the camp near the Ancients. So that was what LGD did not do this game, which I believe was really important when you're playing up against either an offlane Enchantress or a support Enchantress to block the camp. So I think they have to really consider if they are going to give away the Enchantress, they need to
Better game plan to deal with
Yeah,
it.
they need to at least have a better plan to deal with it.
All right. Any other things that you see here that need to be changed, or do you pretty much just chalk this up to the Enchantress
No,
show?
I think the
Enchantress show.
Enchantress just too much food in the early game, so he just made everyone so happy that all the lanes won.
We'll see if Chuan is satisfied with his first meal of the day. But for now, the Enchantress, an enchanting showing here from Newbies. They will take game 2. They're going to force it to game 3. Winner will move on to face OG, who already got done dismantling Archon. Probably not the surprise of many, 2-0. So stick around, the final match of our first round of games here for Group C action, and then we will be back. The Shanghai Major by Perfect World continues after this.